Make the ground shake.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Game Hub. I am your host GamerK, and it's time for my second week of the month of August, and we got a good one. Another DLC review where we're swinging in with our favorite Webcrawler. It is Marvel's Spider-Man, The City That Never Sleeps DLC. And this DLC is honestly one of the better episodic DLCs I've ever played. I mean, it definitely carries over from the main game. Like, it doesn't happen during the main game. It happens afterwards, which I really appreciate. Because every time they, like, plug in a whole bunch of different stories into the main mission, it makes you feel like, okay, well, where was this beforehand? Like, couldn't you do this afterwards? But this one does it right. And it's got a great idea with it. We're going to start off with Episode 1, The Heist. So, after a good while, after the events of the game, Spider-Man's called to stop a robbery in progress at the art museum, where a painting, which I believe is on donation from the Miyagi crime family, is being guarded or being stolen. After a good stealth and fight section with some of the guys, everyone's favorite, okay, everyone in the Marvel Universe's favorite leather-clad kitty comes back. Black Cat, voiced by Erica Lindbeck. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. The voice of Futaba Sakura from Persona 5. I mean, she does such a good job with this. And the voice she does, it just kind of gives you that tingling in your spine whenever she talks. And I hope she returns for the second game if they ever decide to do so. So she basically does her little flirty thing with Peter behind the glass. And, I mean, obviously people, evidently in this universe within the game, they did have a little thing. Even though she's a bit older than him, not by much. I mean, come on, what's wrong with a younger guy hooking up with a somewhat older girl? Personal experiences being added in here. So anyway, she steals something that looks like a memory drive, but then she writes on the glass during the fight that she misses him, and I love that. Unfortunately, this kind of brings in some big drama between MJ and Peter, because him and Black Cat used to date, and they're kind of picking things where they left off now, MJ and Peter. But the story is going. Black Cat's been gone for a good number of years, and she needs Peter's help to get some flash drives for Hammerhead. Yeah, Hammerhead's in this game, and I gotta admit, I was really hoping John DiMaggio would be voicing him, kind of like how he did in the Spectacular Spider-Man, and I mean that was a good voice for him. But I'll look up who's actually voices Hammerhead in this one when I get to the episode. So there's a good chase scene mission where we are literally chasing Black Cat through the city while doing our leaps and jumps through the subway. It's a fun mission. It's not like something that we get a lot because, unlike most Spider-Man villains, Black Cat's the only one agile enough to even give him a challenge. It's kind of like the symbolic chase between Catwoman and Batman in many, many games. Kind of like what they did in the Telltale games. Maybe I should review those ones too. Yeah, I'll do those ones too. But the game is really well done, having a good story, having a good pacing. And to give a couple spoilers, there is a big reveal. Turns out Black Cat needs to get all these flash drives from the Miyagi crime family areas, or else her son is dead. Yeah. Kitty had a litter. Well, a son. And throughout the DLC, this kind of plays with Peter like if it's his, because him and Black Cat dated for a bit before she left. And oh boy, that causes a lot of issues for MJ during a good number of not cutscenes, but more when she talks with Peter via the headset and everything. They kind of talk back and forth, and it creates good drama. This is how a good DLC does with a situation like this. Is how a game should do great scenes like this. Like, it causes some drama, causes a little conflict between relationships, but not too much to force a fight. It just does it naturally, and I love that. Unfortunately, we do get one MJ mission in this game, which is just her sneaking around using the gadgets to distract the guards while she gets information. Why do they put these sections in the games? I mean, they did a couple for MJ and Miles in the main game, so why are we doing them now? Like, no, it's boring. I mean, okay, to be fair, Laura Bailey as MJ is never boring, but just doing the stealth missions with her are boring. Like, I would have rather we got missions with her of being a paparazzi. Like, remember those paparazzi missions we did in Grand Theft Auto 5, where we would sneak and get information on people, and then we'd have to get the heck out with Spider-Man's help? Why couldn't they do that for this DLC? Anyway, it is soon revealed later on, and during some stealth sections, we do get to beat Black Cat a little bit. In a way, like we have her go to certain areas, take out guards to make it a little bit easier. So I kind of like that dual playability a little bit, but it's not. You can't play as Black Cat. It just makes the DLC and the sections during this a little easier. Unfortunately, it turns out that Cat was conning us the entire time in order to get memories for bank accounts. I believe it's for bank accounts or something more dangerous. And then we had to quickly get to her flat where Hammerhead's left a big surprise. And, okay, this is now the second time a Cat's base has been destroyed by a mobster. First Catwoman and Two-Face in Arkham City, and now this. I gotta admit, they're being consistent in video games. They're being consistent. What else do we got? And that's basically how the DLC ends. We believing that Cat died in the explosion, which is really sad. I mean, that's really cool. Also, aside from that, I'm really happy when a DLC puts extra side stuff to do. For example, in this DLC, we got bomb defusing, which was done a lot in the main game, so I'm not really sure why they brought it back. I mean, it was okay, but it just doesn't really have the same feel of it. Like, I wish they would be even harder. Screwball comes back, who's Spider-Man's really eccentric and dangerous fan. She has us doing challenges in order to beat guys up and get the perfect money shot. Seriously, Screwball, who designed this character? I'm not complaining. It's a psychotic character, and she believes in reality TV and these dumb stunts that we do, but I gotta admit, it's a hell of a lot of fun. And in another one, we have to help a retired cop find Felicia Hardy's father's art stash that he stole when he was alive. And honestly, it's pretty cool. We get a little banter between the cop and Spidey as we collect each piece. And thank God they're not difficult to find. All you gotta do is just find the signal of where he stashed it. It's not that difficult. I was really hoping for more puzzles in order to find these. And then it's revealed that we were played for a sucker again. Like father, like daughter, like father. The cop was Hardy. He just tricked us into getting his stash, and I gotta admit, like I said, during the banter between them, it shows that he really cares for Felicia, Black Cat's identity. He really cares for her, but he doesn't want her to know he's alive because he doesn't want to ruin the life she has. And she knows Spider-Man's a good guy. I'm guessing he's been watching them. So I'm really glad that they did something like this to correlate with Black Cat's role in the DLC. And, I gotta admit, yeah, it was really fun. I just wish that in the sequel we get even more of this, if they ever do a sequel. But that's a video for another time. So, in retrospect, so the Heist came out a year or a couple months after the game came out. So in October of 2018, and the DLCs came out in October, November, and December. So it correlated. So I didn't have to wait 2 months for each DLC to come out. And the game and the DLC does give a little bit extra game time after you beat the main mission. It gives you a little bit more, clocking in at about 3 hours if you're good at these kinds of things. If you keep dying and failing, then it's going to be a bit longer. But overall, it's 3 hours. And honestly, when DLC is really short, I hate it. But this one is a fun 3 hours. The story is compelling, and it carries over into the next episode. The conflict between Black Cat's revelation and then Peter and MJ's bickering back and forth really sets up some emotion that gets on in the future episodes and at the end of the DLC story itself. Does it have a couple problems? A little bit. Like, I would have loved to see some confrontation between Black Cat and MJ. Just a little battle of the exes kind of thing. Like, we don't really get to see that in video games as much as I would like. I mean, they didn't even do it in Arkham when they could have had Talia fighting with Catwoman or anything. But I really hope if there's a sequel, they take that idea to have some conflict between MJ and Felicia. I think it could be cool. Like, we have a cutscene or a section of the game where we have to play as them and work together. But overall, with the three extra side missions, doing all and just I mean, it's not really much exploring. I mean, we are stuck in a certain section of the city for this episode, but it just makes it feel bigger than it is just by sticking to one section. So you're not going all over the place looking for everything to do. So, clocking in at 3 hours, the story is fun. Black Cat's design is beautiful. I would hope to see someone cosplay as her one day, and I can get a photo for my collection. And also, did I mention Erica Linebeck voices her? Come on, that is casting perfection. The entire cast in this game was perfectly done. And the DLC doesn't make you feel like it's a chore to play through. It engages you into the story. So, GamerK's final verdict for the DLC review, The Heist, is a perfect, I can't roll my R's, 8 out of 10. It would have been a 9 if they added just a little bit more of the side missions to do. Like, have some more puzzles to do, have Black Cat actually confront MJ about everything, or vice versa, and have some more drama. But, overall, it's a fun DLC, and if you don't have it, I damn well beg you to purchase it. And plus, it's been 2 years, so the price has gone down, and for any big Spider-Man fans who have the game and who haven't downloaded this, shame on you, my friends. Webcrawler would be ashamed. Well, that's it for this week's video, ladies and gentlemen. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and also, the intro from this video is brought to you by my cousin Kira Gamer Sands. Link in her channel will be in the description down below. Join me next week, ladies and gentlemen, where in our search for Power Rangers, we're gonna go cosmic. This is GamerK logging out.